I support a team that play better rugby.
Because of its style of play.
I want them to accept it.
20 years now since unity, but not much has changed.
Nobody fights anymore.
There are more black rugby players in South Africa as a whole.
Yes. What happens to our other players? What do? It's a frustration.
National pride, voting every 5 years.
It's food for thought, don't you think?
All Blacks!
To play club rugby, you must love it and you must enjoy it.
When it's in your blood, you can't get it out. It's like AIDS, you can't get away from it.
I played for 5 clubs. I actually grew up in Paarl. My first club was at Gardens and then Standards. After that I moved as a student to UWC. I played there. Club rugby, you don't play for yourself, you play for the community. Because at the end of the day, it is poor communities, they come there to forget about their circumstances, where what is bothering them. And then when they come, what's there, it's just a few hours that they can forget about the sorrows of something like that, you see.
I'm involved in rugby at school, coaching, and always winning every year, 80%. But when it comes to under 19, I never get the under 19 A team. And for me, that is unacceptable.
That's a sign of a bad coach.
Thank you.
I was never a supporter of the All Blacks, but my mother forced me to become an All Black because 2 days before my birth, there was only black around me.
You go every Saturday to club rugby. Doesn't matter where in Cape Town. Doesn't matter which clubs are playing. You will always see people wearing All Black tops.
If I must really bring all the All Black supporters from Tigerberg, then you won't have space here.
Our parents supported them and they introduced us to the play, to the rugby, the All Black style of play. And even when the new dispensation came along, we just continued to support the team that plays the best rugby.
I'm a South African, but I'm just going for the rugby they are playing. From 1981, that was political, but now is for the skills and the mobility they are playing, and it actually can even take their play and coach youngsters, because you are learning something from them.
In my country, it's my democracy, it's my right. I use my it's freedom of choice, freedom of movement, and freedom of speech. And this is what I use for my constitution, and you can't tell me this.
Daai is die manne wat gesê het, as hulle weer 'n ou vlag op die stadium sien, dan speel hulle nie in Suid-Afrika nie. And from that day on, ek is nog altyd All Black, no matter win or lose, I'll stay All Black.
Until you understand the fundamentals of club rugby and what is going on, then you will know why we support this team, the All Blacks. And a lot of us, or some people standing here, know what it was about playing then. You give you all the Saturday, week in, week out, but there was always an excuse with our so-called non-white rugby players. You're either too small or you're too light, or there was always an excuse. So we never got the exposure that we actually desired and needed.
It's still the same.
And you know what, we sort of 20 years now since unity, but not much has changed.
You would find a boy from Mitchell's Plain, for example, or wherever we come from. His parents can't afford 300-400 rand a month gym fees, so he doesn't go to a gym. He doesn't know what the gym looks like. But now he's selected into a squad. And what got him into that squad? It's his performance on the field. And then the process of elimination is they get taken to a gym, or especially the Sports Science Institute. So now you take him into a foreign environment, tell him you must push 110 kgs, for example. He can't do it because he doesn't have the technique. He gets eliminated because of the gym, but it's not what he does in the gym that got him there in the first place. So this discrimination is not purely a race-based thing. It's a socio-economic based thing.
We are proud of South Africa, but there are things that's not going the way of black people.
At school level, I know of more than one situation where coaches or a coach was approached and said, "My seun moet in die span wees."
You sponsor the school. You give the school 100,000 rand a year and you want your child to play.
I've seen personally already how guys come, their own farms or their father's own farms. They come to the coach, my pa het 'n skaap gestuur. It's happened, promise you, it's happened. I've seen it. And then here's one or two cases of wine for you or whatever. It happens. It's normal. It's part of the norm. That's what they do.
There are more black rugby players in South Africa as a whole than white players. And you still see only 2, 3, at most 4 players in the national team.
More than 90% of the clubs in the Western Province are non-white clubs. How many players make it through? Why must we go and fetch players from upcountry? Why do we have to do that? And overseas for what? We've got local players right here. Why aren't they being used? I mean, why spend 5 million rand a year on one player? Why can't you take a few so-called disadvantaged players and groom them, work with them, and get them up to the same level? There's a few people. Look, 20 years down after Unity, how many non-white representatives are there in the team? 2 or 3? At most. 20 years ago, there was 2. Was there much change? No, there wasn't.
And that is our main thing now, to see that the Western Province team and then the Stormers team be a little bit more representative of the population of Western Province.
Somebody's got to do something about it. But what do you do? Who do you approach? Because people block you everywhere. And I mean, I'm not scared to say this, and I will say to anybody also, our own so-called colored people are sellouts as well. They know what they fought for before. They got there into cushy positions now. Now it's about self-enrichment, make sure my pocket is fine, and forget about what they fought for years back.
Where they came from.
They forget where they've come from. They're forgetting that.
Clubs also have to start taking the sunglasses off and really see what is going on about them and learn to understand the process of democracy, where you can get rid of people that don't do what you are expecting them to do. My message to clubs is, if you don't like what you're seeing or what you're experiencing, you must vote. You must use your vote. And if you don't use your vote, don't complain.
My one neighbor said to me, the reason why we support the All Blacks because we didn't make the Springbok team. So I asked him, did you maybe get colours in high school? Poland colours? No, I got it. Okay? Any provincial rugby? Nothing. Don't talk about Springbok colours. You see? And sometimes you and your neighbor, you disagree, and then for a few weeks, you don't even greet each other because he's a Springbok and I'm All Black. You see, because all my neighbors in my street, they are all Springboks. The one even changed now because our Yankees getting the last test against the All Blacks. I was watching with him, and he took out his All Black jersey and he put on the Springbok jersey. I said, what is going on with you? No, now I'm a Springbok. He said, for what? For the Yankees? He's going on now. He said, yes. And suddenly he said, he's now a Springbok, you see.
You hear people talk to them about they're traitors. You even read in the newspaper about people saying All Black supporters are traitors. Now for me, the real traitors are the guy who waves a Springbok flag, he wears a Springbok sweater, he's got a Springbok cap on, he's got a Springbok jacket on. That's his team. When they sing the national anthem, they refuse to sing the first part of the anthem, and you must hear the racist remarks they pass about the first part of the anthem. But they want to blow the roof off that stadium with his stem. So he's saying, I support this team, I support who they represent, but I'm not part of this country. You want to see a nation divided? Listen to the national anthem at the rugby stadium. Those are the real traitors, because they're wearing a disguise. They haven't accepted this country, but they portray themselves as supporters of this country. In 1994, we all became free in this country. We became free. Before that, there was a certain population group who told us where to live, who to fall in love with, what schools to go to, what bus to get into, what train to travel. If you stopped at the station, which side of the little hole you had to go and buy stuff. We're free now. But they are not free yet. They're still caught in that old mentality, the pre-democracy mentality, that they still believe it's their right to tell you what to wear, who to support. My message to them is, we've gone past that. They do not have the right to tell people what to wear. It's a personal decision. As long as that person wearing the all-black top is a law-abiding citizen, we must respect him. But they refuse to accept freedom in this country.
If you have any stories in your community, email us at info@groundup.org.za or visit our website at www.groundup.org.za. You can also follow us on Twitter at groundup_news.